What's happening, beautiful people, and thank you so much for tuning into this video. I am Carrington Brown, your relationship expert, and today we'll be discussing part 7 of Principles for a Christian Household. On today's verse, it will be Ephesians 5, chapter 5, verse 27. But in order for it to make sense, because verse 27 is actually the end of a sentence, I'm going to read 25 through 27 so it all flows and makes sense. So this is what it says. It says, "Husbands, love your wives just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her, to make her holy, cleansing her by washing with water through the word." Here's 27. "And to present her to himself as a radiant church without stain or wrinkle or any other blemish, but holy and blameless." So let's get into these points, beautiful people. So point 1 is this. Kings, husbands, you have to understand this. Your wise presentation will directly reflect your death. One more time. Your wise presentation will directly reflect your death. When we go back to verse 25, it talks about Christ giving himself up for the church. And then when we get to 27, it talks about how Christ giving himself up for the church and investing in her, investing in us as the church, is the thing that removes stains, removes wrinkles, removes blemishes, but then along with that makes us holy and blameless. As men and as husbands, having the responsibility of being a Christ in the life of our wives, we have the responsibility of doing that as well, to be intentional about making sure that we're investing in her to the point to where when she's presented to Christ, she gets that well done. And so in order for her to really be able to be presented to Christ like that, you got to die, because the level of death that you experience, just like with Christ, is going to be reflected in her ability to be presented properly to Christ at the end of her life. Point number 2 is this. The word that you deposit removes flaws. One more time. The word that you deposit removes flaws. It's a plane going over, so I don't know if y'all can hear that, but it's all good. So when we look at 27, so when we look at 27, it says, "Present her to himself as a radiant church without stain or wrinkle or any blemish." When we look at stains and wrinkles and any blemish, I'm not a fan of wearing clothes that are dirty. I'm not a fan of wearing clothes that are wrinkled up. So I'm going to make sure I iron them things. But along with that, I'm going to make sure that they have been washed so that they are clean and stain free. The same thing applies to your wife. Your wife needs to be blameless. Your wife needs to be clean. Your wife needs to be straightened out and ironed out with all of the wrinkles gone. But in order for that to happen, you have to, yes, die, but then along with that, you have to be intentional about depositing and investing the word in her. Because as it talks about in 26, you wash her with the word. And you washing her with the word is what positions you to be able to present her to Christ as a holy and blameless individual. So you have to be intentional, husbands, about investing word in your wife through devotionals, just reading the word, having just dialogue and conversation, going to church together, having conversations after church about what was learned during the service, right? So you want to do all of those things, because in doing those, that's you investing word in her, washing her with the word, and from doing that, wrinkles will leave, blemishes will leave, and stains will leave, which will position her to be blameless and pure in the eyes of the Lord when she presents herself to him, or when you present her to him, or when she's presented, let's say like that, when she passes on. So, and point 3 is this, beautiful people. King, the well done of your wife is dependent upon you. One more time. Your wife's well done is dependent upon you, because you are the individual that has the responsibility of washing your wife in the word and presenting her to Christ. The well done that your wife gets is dependent upon you. And so when we look at the life that you live, you have to ask yourself, is the amount of spiritual, mental, and emotional investment that I'm making in myself and in my marriage and in my wife enough to present her to Christ as she needs to be? Right? Am I doing enough work? Am I making enough investment to present my wife to Christ at the end of her life, to the point to where I know 100% without a doubt she will get it well done? And if the answer is no, King, then you got to do more. Because if you don't do more as a husband, your wife is going to suffer from that. Right? So thank you guys once again. The 3 points for today is this. Your wise presentation reflects your death. The word, we talking the word of God. The word of God, you deposit, removes flaws. And then lastly, the well done of your wife is dependent upon you. Got to make sure she's properly being presented to Christ when she gets there, all right? So So thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that beautiful stuff if you haven't already. Follow me on all social media platforms. I'm at TheCarringtonBrown, and I look forward to speaking with you guys, seeing you guys, investing in you guys again very soon. Love y'all. Peace out.